Hi everybody. What we're going to be tying today is a black double bead stonefly nymph pattern, size 16. For the materials, we're going to use a Daiichi 1510 number 16 hook, okay, uni 8/0 black thread. Okay. For the tail, we're going to use a goose biot black. And we're going to use two beads of different sizes. These are tungsten beads, which we can use brass as well. We're going to use a 1.5 millimeter, which is a 1/16 inch bead, and a 2.0 millimeter, which is a 5/64 bead. We're also going to be using some Supreme hair or super hair, same stuff put out by Feathercraft and other suppliers. Okay, well, let's get to tying here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start our thread on the hook. Cut that off. Now, stoneflies have antennae coming out the front of their heads, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want a little space in front of these beads. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over like this. Going to push that bead back just a tad. Okay, come over again. Okay, and that's going to leave a little space right there at the head. So we tie that antennae in, we'll have some room for it. I'll come back around. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Come back towards the back of the hook right here. Now, for the tail or the rear legs, we're going to use a couple of black goose biots. And what we're going to do is take this, we're just going to cut these out. Try to use your smaller ones on the smaller flies. Now this is 16. We tied down to an 18 in this thing. Most stoneflies are larger, but some streams and rivers in the southeast have these little tiny critters that on certain days, if you've got a pattern like this, you can catch some fish on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these two biots and we're going to oppose them so they splay different ways. Okay. Go and get them so they're both the same length. Right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back here. We're going to hold them on both sides of the hook with our thumb and forefinger, and we're just going to slip around here and put a loose wrap, another loose wrap. I'm going to check to see how the length. Now that in this case it's a little long, so I'm going to take one back off and move them up a little bit. Okay. Now that's pretty good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hold them like this, keep them from rolling around the hook. I'm going to tie back just a tad. Okay. We still got these, and we're going to come forward up to the bead. And what we're going to do is we're going to trim the little quills off, being careful to try not to cut our thread. Okay, good. Alright, I'm going to tie that down just a tad. Now, our body material is going to be made of D-rib, a black D-rib. Now this material has got a flat side and a concave side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put the flat side against the hook and capture that with our thread. Down like this. Now I've got that captured, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just pull this back to keep the profile of the body slim. Alright, I'm going to go back to where the rear legs come out. Once I get there, I'm going to come back to behind that bead. Okay. Now, the concave side is going to be facing out, and what that's going to do is give us a segmented body. So I'm going to just take this and stretch it, okay, tightly at first, and then as I get further towards the bead, I'm going to release some of the tension on it, so it's going to make the body just a little bit fuller, a little bit more tapered. Get up to right about here, okay, and I'm just going to tie this down. Okay, a couple, 3 wraps on one side. Okay, now so I'm not putting a bunch of tension. This is 8/0 thread, so if you put too much tension on it, it's going to snap on you. So I'm going to come around this side one time, wrap one time. I'm going to take my scissors and just pull tight on it. There you go. And you can kind of dress that down a little bit. Tie it down a couple more wraps. The next thing I'm going to do is move this thread between these 2 beads. Now when I put these 2 beads on, I put the smaller bead on the conventional manner, which means that the small hole in the eye is, or a small hole in the bead is closest to the eye. I reverse that for the larger bead, so the larger hole in that bead is facing this smaller bead. And what that has done for us is it's gained us a little more room on the hook for the body. It's also given us a little segmentation there, so when I tie this thread down through there, I can actually, if I'm careful, kind of go down almost to the hook itself. Right, so I'm here between the 2 beads. Now I'm going to take a strand, this mohair or super hair comes in hanks, and what you're going to do is you just need one strand, and that strand will tie you 2 or 3 flies if you're careful with it. Okay, I'm going to take this one strand, I'm going to just double it over on itself. Alrighty, and then I'm going to just cut the loop right there. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get these 2 strands, and we're going to take them, we're going to tie, we'll just kind of, we can actually, if we seesaw that through there a little bit, that will actually catch within those 2 beads, and that's one of the other advantages of tying those beads opposed to each other. So now all I've got to do is come over here, and we'll hold the bead right here, tighten down on it, pull it back just a little bit and tighten down on it. See? Okay. This side right here, we're going to pull back on just a little bit. I'm going to tighten down on it. Okay. You just do that till you get it kind of where you want it. You can actually take and just pull both strands back with your fingers on both sides and just massage it back. Then you just kind of capture that a little bit. Okay, so those are going to be your legs. Now I'm just going to gross trim this. Actually come do a little figure 8 wrap to try to capture that a little better. There you go. Okay, I'm going to take and just gross trim these legs. We'll come back later and trim pretty much the length we want them. That's the kind of thing that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder a lot of times. You can see how those are, got 2 little legs there, which they're gonna just float when as the thing goes down the stream. They're gonna wiggle on you just a little bit, which is what you want. All right, the next step is to move this thread over to behind the eye of the hook. Now you want to make sure that your hook, and this hook's got a little slight bend to it, you want to make sure this eye is parallel with the floor or with your vise, okay, the base of your vise. The reason you want to do that is this thread on this little tiny hook will slip over, so when you try to make a wrap it won't catch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that vise up just a tad. I'm going to just lay that back just a little bit so it's more parallel with the floor. In fact, I can do a little bit more here. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take one strand, this super hair, I'm going to just hold it against the bead with my thumb. Okay. Now I'm going to take and just wrap over, see if I can't capture it. No, that wasn't it. This is sometimes the hardest part of the whole fly. Okay, there's one. Alright. Now, I'll place this as the far one. Alright, and I'm going to take one more wrap just to make sure we got it tightened down. Now, when you do this, make sure you don't capture your legs in there too. It's not hard to do. I tell you that from experience. Now, you're going to take this closest side to you and pull it towards you and pull it forward, and then you're going to wrap over like this. Now, if you've left some room at the eye, you're going to have plenty of room to do this. Okay, and just pull these babies forward, keeping them apart with your thumb and forefinger. Okay. A couple wraps. All right, in pretty good shape here, so I'm going to trim this off grossly. Okay, and that off grossly. A little bit more here. Now, you're ready to do your whip finish and do your final trimming, and you're done. So what we're going to do, we're going to do our whip finish right like this. 3 wraps. Just making sure you don't capture the legs or the antennae. Okay. You know what? You're about done here. Take that, trim that. Alright, now we're going to try to envision what a tiny stonefly's antenna would look like. And we're just going to trim it like that. This super hair is good for these smaller flies that you need legs or antenna on. They just don't make rubber legs that are actually small enough to put on these little flies. So we're going to trim that out. And there's, trim the legs back up right here. There we go. Okay, and we probably want to trim that just a tad. That just a tad, okay. And there you go. A little black stonefly pattern, size 16. Enjoy.